या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। पूज्य माँ भगवती, पूज्य Sri Arvind, and you all members of the core group of our Savitri mission. The masterpiece that we have been churning since last so many episodes. Now the further one is about the master key that Mother has searched it out, and how can it be applied to the therapy of a new age. Medical science will be revolutionized, style of living also will be changed, and divinity will be in the center of our existence. Similarly, and individually, it will be in the center of our body. So cellular entity of our body is the real center, and it is the purity, divinity and infinity. The Trinity as such is the reality of the cellular existence and that Trinity is to be so enhanced and expanded that individually it can cover up the body, and universally, as Universal Mother executed it, so as per the vision of Sri Aurobindo will be the universal circumference. Now something new as such is to be scientifically incorporated in our day-to-day life. That is, it will be universal velocity, it will be individualized time, space and time will be renovated. So it will be the complete execution of the new relativity of science after Einstein, that is E is equal to mc square is to be changed into E is equal to infinity. So infinity is timeless, and timeless is something, timeless is that is first time in this fourth chapter understood by Satprem. Supramental is the mind of light, and the same supramental is mind of light as transmitted to Mother has started working at cellular level of the Mother's human body at this age. But it is not the human body of Mother at this age, at this old age is working and being so executed, but it is universally executed. With the means of supramental, it has been the universal existence, and that is what Satprem now, as Satprem moves on, recording the direct voice of the Mother gets more and more clarity every time, and when he feels himself bit confused, Mother offers him the clear-cut vision, and it is on the strength of his vision and the explanation of the Mother that Satprem is also led on this way to new age, way to new regime and way to new time and space. Combining biology and yoga, that is what Satprem observes. Combining biology and yoga, we might then imagine that descent is going to reveal a buzzing network of nerves and veins. Now this is the new pattern of our nerves and veins in the body. The geometry of our body is going to be changed. The diameter of individual's body's geometry, one cell is transformed in the body of the mother. So many different societies of the world are getting its either shock or getting its illumination. Those who are ready, they start getting the light, and those who are not ready or those who are obstacles or hurdles in this way, they are getting shock. So this is how the world events are also imperatively affected. It's not the individual cell is going to be changed, nor it is the individual cell of the mother's body is changed, but the world events are also positively or negatively affected. Negatively affected because of their own negativity, and positively affected that they are blessed to receive something new light, something new power, something new understanding, and something new force. That we will hear palpitations and vibrate with the nuclei and tenderis, in short, live our body at a microscopic level. Now this change is being constantly felt by us individually at microscopic level. Through some kind of electronic or yogic magnifying glass in an effort to unearth the key, but on our part to understand this, as I feel confused and I have also confronted with some sort of misunderstanding or half understanding up till now. While recording mother's voice and clarification as such, I could not pinpointedly understand. So it is the microscopic magnifying glass that is required. Our eyes should be so focused like a magnifying glass to realize and to estimate the microscopic new reality that is being emerged in the body of the mother and is well reflected in the words of the mother at a time. So what mother is feeling inside the body at cellular level is expressed, but is expressed in such a way that you must have magnifying glass to at least understand and to get the true and genuine connotation from the spoken or the uttered word of the mother. We must have a magnifying glass. I like magnifying glass. So it is not merely the concentration on the words of the mother that is required. We have to see the meaning or the vibration behind the word. It's not the word that is important, it is the vibration that is being transmitted to me for the world is important, and that is to be seen with magnifying glass. Unearth the key, then only we can unearth, unfold. Then we can unveil the key that is hidden. And key for what? Key to remove death, key for root out death, key for just removing disease and death together, removing disorder, disease and death together. It is the disorder that causes disease, and it is the disease that causes death. So the root cause of death is the disorder in the pattern of the cells of the body. Mother is transforming the cells, and mother is putting orderly patterns in her own body, and that can change the pattern of the entire universe. These good things, but the key lies in none of these good things. Key does not lie outside the body. Key lies in the body itself. And here before Satprem, the key for the removal of the universal death. Universal death means the removal of the death in humanity. Now humanity will be free from death because humanity has got mind, and it is the key that can open up the mind to still ascend further towards psychic. And if the connectivity between psychic and mind becomes tight, operative and imperative, then it can work on the cells, it can work on mentality, vitality and physicality. And in this trinity, when this key starts operating itself, mind also can be renovated, vitality can be renovated, and mentality also can be renovated. These good things, the key, but the key lies in none of these good things. Our body is an excellent body. Our body is an excellent body, and it is the field for this new operation. If death is to be removed, it is to be removed from the body. If death is to be rooted out, it is to be rooted out from the cell. Because purity is there in cell, divinity is there in cell, so infinity is also bound to be there, but it is yet to be expressed. It is yet to be on earth unfolded. Just like the snake, just like a snake leaving its own skin. Snake just gives up its own skin and gets itself free, gets itself healthy, gets itself new. So this is the rebirth of the snake. After giving up and leaving the skin, as snake also feels new birth, we also can feel new birth if our cells are put into order once again. So it is the cell that has to give up the old habits, old body, old format of the cellular patterns within, with only minor mechanical differences. So what prevents this excellent thing from being so excellent? So what prevents our body to feel its excellence, to feel its excellent movement, and to feel its excellent status? And excellent status means living mortal time, living in time, and living in mortal body. You can pave the path to immortality. This is excellence. We are living in our old habits, but if we are determined to remove our old habits, then definitely we can give up the skin, the garments, the old patterns of our body, and thereby by discarding old patterns of our body we can discard death. So death is related to disorder, but if our old patterns are continued, then disorder also automatically will be continued. But if disorder is removed this way, then our old patterns also will be discarded like a skin of the snake. So what prevents this excellent thing from being so excellent? Our old habits, our dead habits of the past, that prevents us to realize the de facto excellence of the body. So that old habit is to be discarded. There lies the key to remove the death. This is the yoga Savitri did. So Savitri is not merely a story, is not merely an anecdote, is not merely an imagination that is to be accepted as our historical inheritance. What Savitri might have done before Mahabharata is scientifically re-executed by Mother in this birth as avatar for the entire humanity. And this is what the Srimad Bhagavad Gita of this greatest Mahabharata of new Kurukshetra the new battlefield against immortality, battle of immortality with mortality. What causes it to turn into a human being's body rather than a beetle's? So what is the difference between beetle's body and the body of the human being? The body of the human being is virtually similar to the body of the caterpillar. As caterpillar getting itself transformed into butterfly without birth. It is the transformation. So birth procedure is replaced by this transformation. Can we not execute this? So this is the target, that if it is existing in the present universe in caterpillar who turns out to be butterfly at a certain stage, can we not do it? Provided our old habits, old patterns and old disorder to be discarded totally. Both of which are mortal. Both are mortal. If body rather than a beetle's, both of which are mortal, it should be noted. Satprem takes note of it. No, it should be noted. If such procedure exists even in the time of mortality taking place in caterpillar, so the process that is unconsciously going on in the life of caterpillar, the same process is going on unconsciously in our body, but it is the force of our dead habits, it is the force of our wrong habits of physicality, vitality and mentality ultimately impose their force of dead habits in such a way that we are diverted, we are perverted. We have ultimately up till now nourished this sort of disorder. Now our mind has to elevate, our mind has to recognize, our mind has to revive with the help of psyche individually and with the help of supramental universally to change this disorder and again make body to grow into new order. Biologists who always answer in terms of operating processes because it is the only thing they can grasp. Biologists can simply apply medicine, think of medicine, think of surgery, think of different therapies, think of holistic medicines, but now they also will have to think in terms of this new procedure, and that new therapy is the therapy of Ashwapathy, and that is why Sri Aurobindo used the father of King Ashwapathy, the nomenclature Ashwapathy. It is the master therapy not for one individual, it is the master therapy for the entire universe, because it is the barren consciousness of psychic, unaffected, unapplied, hidden, dormant, is to be made so active that it can start working to remove the disorders, disease and death from the body, is Ashwapathy. So Ashwapathy is a new therapy, and new therapy is for immortality, for the realization of immortality, though living on the ground of mortality. Biologists who always answer in terms of operating processes because it is the only thing they can grasp, because it is beyond biologists' purview. Biologists cannot understand it. Biologists can go up to certain limit. Thereafter they cannot think, they cannot practice, and they cannot even trust it. So this is the limitation of present medical science. But this programming is beyond that, and that is what Satprem says. I could understand that mother is doing it, and not only doing it, she can express it before me, and if I could not grasp it in toto, she can provide me the actual visions, what is going on inside the body of the mother. See the beauty of it. Satprem is being granted the clear-cut glimpses of the vision felt by the mother and visioned by the mother, along with the explanation as such. It is the only thing they can grasp, will reply that this body is a human one rather than something else, because certain amino acids, the same from the primitive virus all the way to Einstein, are assembled or spun in a certain way, in a certain order, yielding human proteins rather than something else. Now, human proteins is being provided by the cells. Human energy is being provided by the cells. Human tonic is being provided by the cells. Human light is being provided by the cells. This is beyond biologist's purview, but still it is going on in our body. It is only psychic that can point out, and it is only psychic that can recognize it. So this is the new cellular therapy that is to be applied to all the patterns in all the geometrical patterns in our body. That is what mother experienced, and today mother experiences all these things in her own body. Tomorrow each and everybody belonging to human race will have to experience this and this only, and this will be the pattern given to all human bodies by grace of the creation. By birth, everybody will have this sort of new pattern, as everybody by birth gets the mind and mentality. Similarly, everybody by grace will get this new pattern, new cellular pattern of the body that will establish its own swadharma of immortality, its own nature, a new nature of immortality. In a certain way, in a certain order, yielding human proteins rather than something else. And there is no escape, As every human child born today, up till now, born, has got mind without escape. Nobody can escape. If you are born with mind. So if you are born tomorrow, you are with this new pattern. This is cellular transformation. It is not only in one human body, it is in the human cycle, it is in the human existence, it is in the evolutionary stage. It is so general and so common that it will be a new evolutionary step of the emergence of a new interim race with boon of immortality. And there is no escape. It's implicable and scientific. From the first hydrogen cloud onwards, they will go on being spun that way, or slightly differently forever. In the beginning, it appears to be different, slightly different from our ritual routine. It is our ritual routine, as if it is our ritual. We don't want to get deviated from it. So it will be slightly changed initially, but later on it will be a common rule. It will be a new nature of the Prakriti, because entire Prakriti as such will have to generate this type of force for the new stage of human race. They will go on being spun that way, and new patterns will be spun this way. A spider is spinning its own web. Similarly, nature also is spinning its own web in such a way that the same web will be spun inside by our cells. So mortality, death will be removed individually, then it will be removed from the entire race. They will go on being spun that way or slightly differently forever. Materialism is the gospel of death. Why death exists? So materialism is the gospel of death. Ahar, Nindra, Bhay and Maithun. We try to find out happiness, bliss, Anand, Sachidanand, Paramanand, Nijanand, Brahmanand, Akhandanand. From this, it is not there. It's not there. It is something within. It is in our psychic. It is not in Ahar, Nindra, Bhay and Maithun. That is materialism. So materialism is the gospel of death. Mother was to say in a terse and striking way. And spiritualism is the gospel of heaven. Spiritualism is the gospel of heaven. Nature of materialism leads us to death, and very nature of spiritualism will lead us to immortality. It is the spirit that is immortal. Matter is not immortal, but the core of the matter, the center of the matter, the center and the source of the matter is spiritual. That's spirituality. And that spirituality will so survive that it will give immortality to even matter and to the spirit. It is there. Mother was to say in we really have to find something else that will be a little more comfortable between these two extremes, but we must try to find out the middle way where spiritualism also can control and command, but materialism should not dominate the life force. It is the spiritualism that should dominate the life force. Matter is to be instrument and spirit is to be master. Spirit is to be captain and matter is to be vehicle. Spirit is to be psychic, active, and matter is to be human body in well orderly patterns. But what makes them spin in a particular way? But what makes them? How can we assume that it will be automatically spun? So that is also Satprem notes from the mother's utterances. In a particular, what is the prime mechanism? So what is the prime mechanism of the cell? Cellular mechanism. We have just discussed in previous episode cellular mechanism. So what is real cellular mechanism that is to be operated in the body of the mother at present when she is uttering all these statements? The underlying force that makes them or forces them to be spun at all without great difference between Homo sapiens and lizard. There is no difference between Homo sapiens or lizard. Every living creature will have this new nature. It is the new nature of heaven. It is the new nature of life divine. It is the new nature where divine will accept life. It is not that the life will accept divine. It is vice versa. It is the divine. Pattern is divine. Body is divine. Cellular emergence is divine. Cellular operation is divine. That is cellular mechanism is divine, but it will accept life for manifestation. It will accept worldly parameters for manifestation. But it is the spirit in new pattern will accept new type of life. And new type of life is life divine. So the clear-cut distinction also mother here makes it so elaborately understandable, comprehensive, that life has to accept this divine pattern, or divine pattern has to accept life to be its own instrument to manifest it without great difference between It is not the difference between a lizard and human being which is of interest, but the fact of the spinning itself. It is not for animals, birds, or all different species on the earth and human being, but it is the pattern of new existence because of supramental that will come into a new existence is important, and that has to be accepted as part and parcel, as inevitable force for our existence. As without nature as such, what we call nature as such, we cannot exist. Why life is not there on the surface of the moon? Why life is not there on the surface of the Mars? Why life is not there on the surface of the sun? Why life is on the earth? But now that life to be divinized on the surface of the earth will have to accept this new pattern of cellular mechanism, and that is the supramental that can force each and every birth, force each and every body to be born. The new pattern, and that new pattern will be the pattern committed to immortality. It is not the difference between a lizard and a human being which is of no interest, but the fact of spinning itself. What law does it obey? So, new life will have to obey certain new laws, new sets of laws. Today we obey the law of birth and obey the law of death, obey the circumstances, impressions, imperative forces of death and disease. Now new pattern will be so executed that we'll have to obey that new nature, and that new pattern and new nature universally and individually will take us to experience new life, that is life divine, and that is the life of immortality, that is what the scientists do not know. The scientists do not know at present, but Mother does. Satprem writes, but Mother does. Scientists do not know today, but Mother does. That is the key that interests us. That is the key that is our interest, that Mother has found out the key, and that will be our boon for future humanity. Jai Mataji.